is up, Focus Crew? Welcome back to another FPL video. Today is a special one because it is my 400th YouTube video. 400th FPL YouTube video, and it's thanks to all you lot for supporting me and keeping me going along the way. So today's video, we're going to be doing a special one. I am going to be rating the Focus Crew's draft teams ready for this season. So you've all submitted your draft teams in, and I am going to rate them. Hopefully I am not too harsh on you, but we shall see. Before we do get into it though, please do smash that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's see if we can get 9 likes on this video. Right, let's get into it. So yes, a massive thank you to you all. This is my 400th video, so let's get into it. I asked you on Twitter and you did reply. You were really positive and responded to my calls of cry for content creation. So here we are. As you can see, I've got a magnifying glass system on your right, marked 1 to 5. 5 means your team will be absolutely on fire, ready for this season. You'll be going into it strong. If you can score that, fantastic. Anything lower, don't get too disheartened, Focus Crew. I'm sure there will be things that you could change anyway. And after all, it is only a draft, right? So, first up, we have FPLBull. Thank you for your submission, FPLBull. You can follow him on Twitter, bull_FPL. Make sure you do follow these people. Brilliant people in the FPL community. Always good to chat to. Bull says, far too many drafts to choose from. This is probably the most balanced. If Mount hits form in pre-season, I'll swap him for Rashford. Do his stupid into Trent. 1 million in his bank. So 1 million in his bank. First up, brilliant to have them funds in there. Always helps you be flexible. As he mentioned, if Rashford doesn't do too great, he can switch on to newcomer Mason Mount. But I expect Rashford to do well. Solid choice for me. Great goal scorer last season for United. Saka in there as well, speaks for itself. Matoma, high percentage owned. Gabriel Jesus, very popular. I expect Jesus to have a decent season. Haaland, say no more. He is a machine. Let's have a look at the bench though. Areola in there, sub-goalkeeper. Interesting one. I know Fabianski might be on his way out. Areola could become the first choice. Brilliant at 4 million, gives you that budget option. So we like that to begin with on the bench. Then we've got Botman, 4.5. Great player because he's in a Newcastle side. At 4.5, the value is brilliant. The fixtures, however, are not. So I'm not quite liking that. I did do a defensive video on 4.5 options. You can check that out for sure. But it could just be a placeholder. When the fixtures do come good, Botman could come back in. But for me, to begin with, them fixtures are really tricky. Surridge there, I can see, must be a placeholder just for budget. Same with Bell of Luton, which a lot of people are doing, just 4.0. Now let's go back into his main side, FPLBull's main side. Matoma, highly owned. There are several Brighton assets around that price that you could go for. A Solly March, for instance. You could even drop down a price point and go to Enciso as well, expecting him to get more starts. Phil Foden, great player when he plays. I tell you what, he can actually haul quite big. But it's that Pep Roulette again. And for that reason, I never like Pep Roulette. Oh, damn you, Pep. Then he's got Stones in there, who we know drops into that midfield. He's got a bit more of an advanced role as a centre-back, so it's really interesting. Popular choice is Stupinen as well. Here's an interesting one. Pickford. Now, I did talk about, I think Sean Dyche and Everton can do well defensively. And then we have got Ben Chilwell. For me, I can see why you've done it, buddy. You're thinking attacking returns, which Chilwell is absolutely capable of. But tough fixtures to begin with, and a possibility of him being sort of labelled as injury prone. But I can see why you've done it. So, FPLBull, time for your rating. I'm going to give you a 4 magnifying glasses out of 5. So well done, a good start. Next up, we have got FBO Specialist. That's Owen, avid follower of the channel. Thank you, Owen. We do appreciate all your support. And you can find him at FFS_fantasy capital PL. So yeah, that's where he is on Twitter. He says, latest draft, Flecken could be an option over Areola. So that's interesting. Fabianski if Raya leaves. So talking about it earlier, we're actually thinking, yeah, Fabianski could leave. So you've took that into account. You're keeping your eye on Flecken. If Raya leaves, those are the two goalkeepers that people are looking for. And it really does save a lot of money if you can have one of them too. Estupinan in there, popular pick again. Gabriel I like. Arsenal fixtures, fantastic. Saliba back in, partnering Gabriel. And obviously, Gabriel has quite a goal threat from set pieces and corners, so I quite like that. Trent, 8 million. Oh, it's that big money. But personally, I'm on the Trent train as well. Attacking, playing in that midfield role now. Klopp, I think, will play him there. I don't think he'll play him there all the time, but I think Klopp will be doing that from now on a bit more. But either way, even if he does play right back, you know he will be pushing forward. He always attacks anyway. Free kicks galore. Saka in there. There's an Enciso. We talked about him earlier. I do like that. I think he's a good price and I think he could explode this season. Mbeumo, pre-season, he didn't play too great, but it's pre-season. Don't read too much into that. Going off of last season's form, fantastic pick. He'll be having Wissa up front partnering him. He'll be on the right though, not up front so to speak, but he will have Wissa there with him. So Mbeumo, a good choice. We know he's the main man now. Ivan Toney doesn't play. Matoma again, Rashford again. Jesus and Haaland, a common theme. Let's have a look at your bench. Oh, he's got James in there. And then budget enablers in Archer, Bell. Areola could possibly play. Still a nice budget enabler. James, though, there. Ready to pounce. I think you're hoping that he does do well. I'm going to say it's quite a solid team. I quite like it. With Enciso in there being your differential. Gabriel as well. I think you're just about breaking the template there, Owen. James in there is a no for me, though. Not liking it, but I can see the idea. If James comes out the blocks, you could just bring him in. So, for me, you are going to get a 4 magnifying glasses, Owen. Well done. Next up, we have Tommy, FPL Phillips. That's at Mayday FPL on Twitter. He says, roast me. Okay, I take the invitation. Let's have a look then at your team. Kane up front, captaincy. He's really going for it there. Not a lot of people own Kane. And Nkunku, he's taking a gamble. I always like to see players settle in the Premier League first. I think Nkunku should do well. But that Chelsea curse is very real. You've also got James in there. Zinchenko, good player. We know what he does. Links up the play, can score. Stupinan, popular. Ramsdale will do well. Solidifies the defence. Gabriel, Ake in there, coming back in. And James, I spoke about in the last draft. James, I don't like it. Injury prone. But again, if he explodes and does well, could be okay. Liverpool first game, not so easy. Ramsdale is going to clock up clean sheets and do well. You've gone on your triple up in the Arsenal defence. I personally feel like you're taking up too many spaces with Arsenal defenders there. I would have to cut that down because if Arsenal do really well attacking wise, the likes of Saka, Martinelli, and they absolutely come slaying it for the season, you're not going to be able to get on them easy without taking hits. So that would be my advice. And I can't see your bench, so you did say to roast you, dude. So that has pretty much roasted you. That is my honest opinion, though. I don't lie. I'm always very honest. So for me, I'm going to give this draft a 2 magnifying glasses out of 5. On to the next one, shall we? Next up, we have Chewie FPL. That was my Chewie impression. I hope that was good enough. 0.5 million in the bank. Always wise to save a bit of money in there. We like that. I'm a big fan of saving money in the bank. Areola starting. Let's have a look at his bench. Flecken. Okay, so he's going to keep his eye, obviously, on the departures of Fabianski and David Raya. So both budget keepers enable you more money. Bell, Bayer plays a lot of games for Burnley. I do like that, and he's budget. Semenyo, budget player. So good. Frees up funds to get into your squad. Again, Estupinian, Trent, Gabriel. Another common theme. Martinelli I do like. I pointed that out earlier in another draft. I like that differential. People are sort of holding off on him. I think because of the risk of rotation, that's what people are thinking. But for me, I think Martinelli's going to kill it and people are going to regret not having him. You've also got a double up on your Man United there. Rashford and Fernandes, absolutely fine. Matoma, you got double Arsenal in Saka, Martinelli. Double Man United, Rashford, Fernandes. I quite like it. His differential player there for me would be Wissa up front, who I do expect to score goals for Brentford. I do like it, Chewie. I like that it's individual and you're going for it in more of a sensible way. I think instead of going in Bremo like most people, you've gone Wissa. I expect Wissa to be grabbing them goals for Brentford. I really do. So for me, I'm quite impressed by this draft, I have to say. I am going to give this a 5 magnifying glasses. Well done, Chewie. That is our first 5. I really like this team. I have to say, I do. I like that you've got Wissa as that different player, but it's not really taking a risk. It's sort of going low ownership, and it could well pay. I think it will pay off for you. So well done, Chewie. Next up, we had a bit of a funny one. Tommy Donahoe. 2 picks. Help, he says. And I said, I see what you did there. You're trying to get help with your team by putting 2 in. But no, I'm sorry. I have to make it fair. I can only rate 1. And I'm going to rate the one on the left-hand side simply because it's nearer to me. So, yeah, Pickford in goal. Spoken about already. We've got another Gabriel, a Trent there. Luke Shaw, I like that. Luke Shaw is quite attacking. We know he does well. Fixtures are good for Man United. Rashford in there as well. Foden was that rotation risk though. Saka and Salah is in there. He's got no Haaland though. That's a big no-no for me. You've got to have Haaland in there. I think that's a standard thing. You're trying to swap it and go with Salah instead, but Haaland is going to hurt you more. Maddison in there, differential player. I think quite a few people will have him, but I don't think he'll be highly owned. I don't think he'll be template quite. He'll be just below that. Creative player, we've got to see how he does at Spurs. Will Harry Kane still be there? New manager, Postecoglou, a lot up in the air for me. You got Gabriel Jesus up there, and you got Calvert-Lewin. We need Calvert-Lewin to hit form. We need to see what he's doing first. Tommy, I know you said you needed help. For me, I'm rating this a 3 magnifying glasses, dude. Next up, we have El Stato, FPL_El Stato. Keep an eye out for him. Does produce some nice content on Twitter. So he says his first and only draft so far. So consider it's only his first one. He's not fully diving in there yet. So let's just have a look. Take that into consideration. Ramsdale in goal, which for me screams first draft. I picked Ramsdale as well. I thought Arsenal, Declan Rice covering, defenders on lock, man. You know, it's got Estupinian, Trent, popular picks. Rashford popular, Saka the same. Haaland, Gabriel Jesus. On his bench, Semenyo again, Bell, and is that Mings I see there? Tyrone Mings. Depending on what Pau Torres does to Mings' minutes, could be a nice sort of budget enabler. James, I spoke about. I said, 2 injury prone. Don't worry, dude. We know this is your first draft. So, Gibbs White. I love Gibbs White. Tough fixtures, though. But Gibbs White has been playing brilliant. Back end of last season, he's took that into the England under-23s as well. He's just won with the England under-23s. Also, so fantastic. I think he's a great player. James, though, was the bad point in here. And I don't like the Foden rotation. I've seen Foden a few times now. Fair enough, he can bang, he can do well. But for me, I think El Stato is your first draft. We will give you a 4 magnifying glasses out of 5 on this one, dude. But you got plenty more to draft for, right? Next up, we have Zacharias at Zakaria01 on Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow. And he's posted a post in here. It says, final draft for pre-season. Trent, Salah, Haaland, tick. 4.5 goalkeeper or an 8 million midfielder. So, here we go. Ramsdale in goal again. We've got the Estupinan. We've got Trent. We've got the budget Botman. The budget Dalot. But Man United have good fixtures. I expect Dalot to start ahead of Wan-Bissaka. We've got Havertz in there. Can Havertz come out into that starting lineup? If he does, I think he's going to be effective. He was Chelsea's top goal scorer. And for that reason, against Nottingham Forest, Havertz, I think, could open up play there. But we could see others starting ahead of Havertz. But pre-season, we'll see. Salah in there. Haaland. 2 big price categories. Matoma, Rashford captaincy. We'll ignore the armbands. We're just having a look at the team now. Calvert-Lewin, I spoke about that before. You need to see how he does in pre-season. Let's see the bench. Bulldog, Sims and Andre in there. Budget options because you spent so much. Bulldog gets forward well for Sheffield United, but I don't know what they're going to be like on a clean sheet basis in the Premier League this season. It might be quite tricky for him. Areola in there as well. All in all, with Dalot in there, it's a bit different with your Havertz, your Calvert-Lewin. I am going to score this Zakaria a 3 out of 5. So there you go, dude. Next up, we have Aswin. He's at Nepali FPL Guru on Twitter. Make sure you follow them. I guess this is too similar, says. Similar to template drafts, TAA and Maddison or James and Son. So that is the question. Ake to Pedro Porro if he's confirmed to start. Wow, I suppose Haaland, Gabriel Jesus, Saka, Bruno, all locked, barring injuries, they say. So you've got Pickford in goal, you've got Trent there, Ake, Zinchenko. Zinchenko offers that attacking threat a bit more. Be good for Arsenal to have him back. Foden in there, I talked about that lots already. The rotation risk. Saka, Maddison could do things. We will see in pre-season. Bruno Fernandes, we know what he's like. We know what he does. 8.5. Matoma in there. Gabriel Jesus and Haaland. Then on your bench, you got Bell, Musque, Botman and Areola. So not terrible, but like you said, Ake could turn into Pedro Porro. And Pedro Porro does attack very well. We see that last season. It's very impressive, at getting forward for Spurs. So yeah, keep your eye on that one for sure. I like that you've got a plan. You said Trent and Maddison or James and Son. For me, it's Trent and Maddison. That's my personal opinion. So if we're going down that road, I am going to rate this team a 4 out of 5 magnifying glasses. So well done to you. Next up, we have FPL Crusader. That's at FPL Crusader. Mount and Holgate are placeholders, but like in this setup, he says. So Leno in goal, that's different, but it's similar to having Pickford. You've got Areola as your budget on the bench. Balogun, you heard it here first, staying at Arsenal is going to be the gem of the season. Nice pick. Bell budget, Bayer playing budget. They both play, Bell plays. Both budget options into your main team. You've opted for Kane and Haaland. 2 big hitters in the striking position. It's going to make it difficult for you. Oh no, it's not. You've got Salah in your midfield. I was going to say that makes it difficult for you. So this is in theory a freemium. So he's gone big. Salah, Kane, Haaland. You've got Saka, Mason Mount in there. Tavernier and Kiso, Estupinan, Henry, we talked about, Holgate, who said a placeholder. I like Henry if it gets forward well. Great fixtures for Brentford. I've mentioned that in a video. In CISO, I like that he can get forward well. 5.5, fantastic option. I expect him to do well for Brighton. And with your 3 big hitters, you've obviously had to accommodate. You can pull that off because I think Balogun's going to be playing for Arsenal this season, dude. I really like this team. Because you've gone freemium, I'm rating it on that premises. So you got Tavernier in there who does do well for Bournemouth attacking wise. Mason Mount could do well. For your efforts on a freemium, sir, I am going to give this a 5 magnifying glasses. Well done. I really like this team, and if your budgets come off, it's confirmed that Balogun, you know, is definitely going to play. Then you've pretty much pulled it off here because Tavernier is going to get a lot of game time as well. So well done, FPL Crusader. So on to FPL Majiger. That's at Majiger. Pickford and Areola in there. So budget option on the bench. We've spoke about that already. Gabriel, we know, is stupid, and we know Shaw, we've talked a little bit about. I do like the fixtures. Shaw gets forward well. Stones drops out midfield. We talked about that. We've got a Haaland and Salah going on here. So you've had to accommodate. So in doing so, you've got Embuemo in there. Foden, the rotation risk, I don't necessarily like it. Saka, Jesus on your bench, and Dombele, Surridge, that placeholder. Wesley Fofana's an interesting one because I think he will get plenty of game time at Chelsea. But we have to see what Pochettino does do there. In terms of this one, I am going to give this draft I'm going to give it a 3 magnifying glass Majiger. So, yeah, I think because of the rotation risk and the doubts on your bench, you need to have a little bit more certainty on your bench. That's all I'll say. But it's just a draft. So, all good, buddy. Well done. And this brings us on to our last person here. It's FPL Dawn. That's at FPL_Dawn on Twitter. Make sure you go and follow her. 0.5 million in the bank straight away. You know I like money in the bank. Doesn't anyone? Maybe Onana in for Flecken. Yeah, if Manchester United decided, yeah, if they manage to sign him, absolutely. I think he's a decent goalkeeper. So Flecken there could be a possibility of Onana. We've got Stupid and Trent. Gabriel, we've talked about him. Strong defence. Embuemo, popular. Foden, I've said a million times the rotation risk, but he can haul. But it's a draft. You've got Rashford, we got Saka, we got Mitoma, Jesus and Haaland. Bayer in there, Archer. I do like Matty Cash on your bench. I did mention him in a 4.5 million defenders video. For me, this is pretty template. I like that you want to bring Onana in, being a bit different. For me, I'm going to give this a 4 magnifying glasses out of 5. So, yeah, that about wraps up the video. Thank you all so much for your submissions. Sorry if I couldn't get through them all, but on top of working a full-time job, I run my own business and having to edit videos, it's very time consuming. So I tried to get as many of you in as possible. If you did enjoy this video though, please do smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and thanks for watching. Take care.